Alright, everybody, welcome to yet another episode of Beer Time. My best couple friends, Will and Alyssa, joined Brooke and I to a trip to the public park in Lagrange next to my favorite brewery, Wild Leap. Let the kids get all their energy out and have a great bonding day as a whole, as you can see. After the kids played till they couldn't anymore, we finally walked over to the best part of the day, the brewery visit. I got a great flight with all their new experimental IPAs, and all of them could be easily commercially produced with great success. With the incredibly welcoming and fun environment Wild Leap has established at their tap room, it's always a blast for the whole family. Only one thing could make this trip better, and that was a one-on-one talk with Chris, the Chief Brewer at Wild Leap. And luckily enough, he was generous to spare some time on a busy Saturday afternoon to talk to Will and I about his passion and my favorite brews. Unfortunately, it was a bit noisy outside. We had a train just a block away, and the noise from the brewery itself kind of hindered the audio, but I think the content is worth fighting through that. Enjoy. Welcome back to Beer Time. Today we got something special. We get Mr. Chris, one of the brewers at Wild Leap in Troup County, Lagrange, Georgia. And we get to actually ask him a few questions about my specific favorite brewery, and hopefully yours as well, as we've gone over many of their different brews over the last couple years. Thank you very much for taking out your time here your day. I know it's super busy. I want to start with a heavy question first, and we'll go all the easy ones. Sure. The one thing that's on my mind that's driving me nuts because I can't figure it out. What is it that makes Wild Leap IPA specifically so soft and gentle on the mouthfeel compared to everything else?
We started with a kind of a formula of balance for pretty much every style that we do. So we definitely have we've got a good group of people here that can kind of a lot of picky people that definitely want their beer balanced, so it's kind of, we have like this built-in focus group of a lot of the people that work here where they're like hey, this is way too bitter, this is way too kind of off center. They tell us, and we usually have that kind of all ironed out before we get to the bigger batches. So, in general, it's just it's all about, a lot of our IPAs, we're big fans of late edition hopping, late edition hopping and dry hopping is a kind of the key to that. And again, just a focus on everything we do, just a good, I want a good mix of sweetness, a little bit sweet, a little bit tart, and just general balance. For a lot of these beers.
Yeah, I mean, that's always been the definition of every Wild Leap beer I've had, just balance. Even the darker stouts and everything, it's just always so smooth no matter how much crap you're throwing in these. You pull out all this amazing rich flavor, it's still somehow as smooth as can be.
Yeah.
And I think, personally, that's what makes Wild Leap stand out so much, and that's why it's my favorite. Do you guys have any financial plans to the market?
No, not really.
No,
we this entire area right here, we kind of worked with the city to kind of work into this to be a part of a bigger project that they were doing. So this was a kind of this revitalization of downtown. This is kind of the south end of downtown. There's about 11 acres here that the city that the city wanted to do the dog park, the skate park, and a full playground. And it just happens to be kind of right here, where we're kind of a cornerstone of this little area. So this is a 1940s Chevy dealership that basically turned into a body shop and then sat vacant for a few years, and the city was just kind of looking for something to do with it. So it just became part of this really big project. But yeah, we walked the property for about probably over 2 years, almost every week, just kind of looking around, saying it would be cool if this was here, this was here, this was here, and the city was really open to kind of working with us on that, to where this kind of works for everybody. So we get a lot of that traffic, and a lot of our people go over there, and so it works out pretty well.
What events are coming up that Wild Leap is attached to that you want to talk about?
So we have our Brew Year's Eve, or actually I think this year we're calling it something else. I'm the person asks about.
It's beer New Year's Eve.
Yeah, we got beer on New Year's Eve, so we're doing a 20s, I think a 1920s party.
Oh, cool.
Flapper and flapper dresses, everything else. So we'll be doing that, and then I think early in the next year we'll start planning again for our grilled cheese festival, which is turned into kind of one of our bigger festivals.
Yeah. I know it's been extremely popular. I mean, it's been jam-packed today just for a normal Saturday with no event.
Right.
And I know we came for a wing event recently.
Yeah.
It was about
Summer.
half a year ago at most, and it was packed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is great. Couldn't be better to support a local brewery.
Yeah.
What is your favorite malt and hop to work with here?
I've always been a big fan of Maris Otter. That was kind of a homebrew thing where I just kind of early on, I think it was my first all grain batch. I had the guy that ran the homebrew shop told me, this is the magic, this is the stuff that you need, and it really was. I got used to it. Every batch I did was based on, Maris Otter is the majority of the base malt for it, and then over time you kind of realize it's difficult, it's difficult to scale that. But that's one of our favorite malts that we work with. It just has this kind of really nice, nutty character, just a lot of depth to it compared to some other base malts. That's our favorite. But the weird thing is that I've become a big fan of oats. We've started using more and more oats. We've had more projects where we're kicking up the oats in a lot of things, and we're everything from the super low session IPAs all the way up to the kind of big, rich, thick IPAs and stouts. Just really playing with that oat bill, kind of getting that up there.
I think oats are the secret right now. Like
oats,
that's the next step.
Oats are amazing, and they're we've even seen in the grist and the spent grist where you can feel it, and it feels different. It has this kind of nice oatmeal bath sort of feeling on your hands, just kind of having it as a substantial part of the mash. So that's really. That same silkiness is kind of translates to a really nice mouthfeel.
Yeah.
So,
it's more than obvious. I think over the last 6 to 8 months,
right,
with any of them that have it, it stands out.
Yeah.
And as someone that knows what that oat does to it.
Yeah.
God, don't stop doing that.
Oh yeah.
Like that's the key. I think that's the next level. I'm sure a lot of people think that as well. What was your favorite beer that you have worked on here?
The answer to that is usually the latest one.
Yeah.
The great thing about the great thing about what we do is, and we've heard breweries complain about like, it's just we're having to people are moving away from cores and they're just experimenting so much, and it's it can be such a headache, and we've never seen it that way. We've always seen it as, to me this is exciting. There's plenty of times where there are times where we're coming out with a new beer almost every 2 weeks on the commercial scale, and on our small batch system, almost once a week we have something new. So the excitement of coming into work, at the beginning of every week, being able to try an entirely new beer, that you've been thinking about, and it finally kind of comes to fruition. Once you get that cycle going, it's like every week is just a present, to you. It's like Christmas morning where you get to try all these new beers. But we've I think right now I'm a real big fan of ETA. That was one beer where I kind of we do a lot of bigger, sweeter IPAs, and we wanted to kind of back off that a little bit and kind of get a little bit more pine and just a little bit more bitterness to it, and just kind of back to sort of not necessarily east meets west deal, but just a hint more bitterness and just a little bit more pine.
I've noticed. I actually bought a 6-pack of that last night at a podunk, middle of nowhere liquor store that had it.
Yeah,
I couldn't be more happy. We were here 2 weeks ago. I had some here. Had to get some at home. It's out there.
Yeah.
It is great. It is exactly what you just said, which is wonderful part about it. What's going on in the vodka world? Do you have your hands dabbled in that as well here? Or?
Yeah. So we've we're all playing a part in that as well. We are currently looking for we're in the process of kind of getting some equipment going and getting started on that. So we want to get to the point where we're doing a whole portfolio of spirits here as well. Whether it's here, whether it's close to here, we're kind of looking at expanding that side as well. So we're definitely we hit the ground running on that. We wanted to make sure the day we got our license going, we were rocking and making some spirits. So vodka's a kind of a natural, easy choice for that. So you can get vodka rolling pretty good while you're figuring out your everything that's going to sit in the barrel for a while. So anything else we play with this, will be 3 to 5 years down the road before you start to see it.
Nice. Yeah, I know both of our wives love vodka here.
Yeah.
Once vodka drinks were introduced here, we get to show up a lot more.
Yeah. That was always from day one. from day one, we would get a lot of people that came in here that were unfamiliar with the idea of kind of just hanging out in a brewery and drinking beer, and they'd always say, you know, do you guys have anything other than beer? And you know, to us, we've been in the business for a while, so we'd say, you know, no, I mean, we're a brewery, we make beer here, and you're trying our beer. But it wasn't a stupid question. It's what they're used to. They want to see a big, you know, a nice drink menu and a nice beer menu. So really early on, we started the process rolling of trying to get licensed as a distillery to where we would be able to serve our own vodka as well. So vodka has been great in terms of just how versatile it is on a menu, just the different things that you can do. So we're already on our second kind of seasonal menu since we've started. So now we're kind of getting into some of the fall drinks. So we got we're messing with a lot of cinnamon, a lot of pumpkin, coffee, all sorts of good stuff in there.
My 3 favorites.
Yeah.
And how many times distilled is this vodka?
We're 8 times distilled.
8 times distilled. I feel like that's a lot.
Yeah, and it's all about smoothness. So as we worked on I can't even tell you how many different vodkas we tried. And we just kind of always found that the ones that were distilled, you know, a few more times, we were definitely getting a little bit more polish on, even though it was a little bit more expensive to do. It's just getting a little bit more polish on it, just having a smooth product. So we were very pleased with kind of our initial offering.
All right, I know you're busy, man. I'm gonna just give you one more question. We can get back to it.
Sure.
How many beers on average are brewing here at the same time, congruently?
So we have a relatively small cellar, but we turn it pretty fast. So we generally at any given time we have usually between 7 and 9 different beers that are going. You know, be it, you know, there's going to be a portion of those that are going to be our core products that are available year round, like our Local Gold, Chance, and ETA. And then and the other tanks are usually kind of what we're working on for some of the more seasonal stuff, some of the rotating SKUs that we have out there. So be it, you know, the Truck Chaser, Big Hansa, a lot of those. We're generally kind of doing, quarterly we're doing all these, and they're kind of staggered to where we're always coming out with something. Like I said, it's usually about every 2 weeks. You know, every 2 to 3 weeks we have a new beer out there.
Yeah, Truck Chaser is my hands down favorite beer of the year. We've talked about that before already. I lied. One more question. What's the next beer to look out for that's coming up?
So we have the next. Even before that, starting next week, we have our Partners in Crema, which is our. We decided to do a nice big stout. We did a 10% stout, nice big thick stout. We used toasted coconut some Fountain City coffee from Columbus, Georgia.
That's a really good coffee.
Yeah, and cocoa. So and a ton of cocoa. So it's just a really nice, you know, big coconut cocoa with a hint of coffee to it. So that's phenomenal. So I believe that's actually going to hit stores starting next week.
Ooh, that's soon.
Yeah,
that's real soon.
Yeah,
that's great. Well, there you go. Another episode of Beer Time. We finally got to do something really fun. Thank you so much, Chris, for taking the time to do this. I know you're super busy and you got a lot going on. It's a busy Saturday night, as always, at Wild Leap. We'll see you guys next time.
And there you have it. Sorry we got a bit carried away talking about beer to come in the future. Wild Leap isn't quite ready to spread the good news, but from what I heard, it will most likely be the best Wild Leap brew yet. Hopefully you learned something new about Wild Leap, and if you haven't heard of this brewery before, this should be the kick in the pants you need to go try some of their incredible beers. Wild Leap beers are only available for retail in Georgia, but with the success and passion this company brings to the beer world, I'm sure that will change before long. Thanks again to Chris to take time out of his workday to step aside and talk with us. I know I had a blast. So next time you're in the Lagrange, Georgia area, swing by, have a beer, have some vodka, play some games, eat some great food, and watch the football game on the many TVs they have set up in their large drinking area. If this is the kind of video you want to see more of from Beer Time, make sure to let me know in the comments, and see you next time on Beer Time.